This is another question and answers video on comments on my YouTube channel regarding Peugeot vehicles. Not, of course, the ones that are worth responding to. So this is from I don't know. This is not English name, but it's about the Android multimedia display on my 407 Coupe. He said, does the sound adjustment and on and off with the standard knob on the radio work? No, it doesn't. You have two options with that display. Um, it depends on how technical you are with this. If you are the one doing the installation, the radio can work. When you it can work with it's not necessarily work with the radio, but the radio stays on while the display is on as well, except that the sound won't be coming from the radio anymore, but from the display. So, but it just works the normal way. Switch on ignition, the radio comes on, it stays on. You can see the radio is on. Or you can just disconnect. Disconnect the radio so that there won't be any power entering it. So the sound, there's a way the connections, the display comes as a unit. So there are these connections that will be attached on the display that will now go to the car connectors. About two of them. No, only one. No, one. No, it's about two. The one that goes directly behind the radio, about two. The antenna, well, depending on the model of your radio or your 407, RT4, RT3, RD2. So it all depends on which one. But the point is, there's a wiring connector that will come with the display, that will connect to the display and then connect to the car wiring harness with the connector that goes to the radio, so that it will be transferring, it will be responding to the vehicle, no longer the radio. So it's from there that it will transfer the audio or the sound to the speakers or the JBL amplifier. So that's the point. It's a technical thing, so it's not something I can just explain. It's when you see it, you understand. So yeah, it can work irrespective of. But understand, like I said earlier, not all the Android radio. Of course, there are some that also comes with DVD player. But I just changed I thought of all those. I decided not to bother with that DVD player one. Because the reason why I even went for this was all my CDs were cracking. I'm not into all these newer displays. So all the ones I had, I had how many years back? Those are the ones I play. The ones I bought as early as 1999. I think I started buying CDs as early as 98 or thereabout. Sometime within that time, I started buying all these CD or audio CDs, music. So I still have them. But some have started cracking and peeling off. So it kind of pissed me off. I decided, okay, let me download, save them, copy and save as much as I could. So since I won't be playing them anymore, what's the point in getting that DVD home? It's not like I'll be watching movies on while driving. So all I did was I got this one, transferred all those tracks that I copied from the DVD, the CDs, the ones that are still okay, copy from them, and then save them on the display. The display I got had it has about 100 and something gig RAM. no, 8 gig RAM. The one I put has 8 gig RAM. Then the internal memory is how many? About 100 and something gig. 100 and something gig. Then of course it now has USB port where you can add more memory. Attach USB cards, whatever. So anyway, so just wanted to point that out. Moving on, this is from Zizi. He said, "Who is it?" Oh, what's the point? This one doesn't matter. Remove. I'll deal with it later. Okay, this is from Ibrahim Dodo. He said, "Ms. Iken, I really appreciate your response on my comment, but it seems like the fault is from me for not explaining things well for you. First of all, the only thing I know that my 607 with round fog, really we meant fog light, carrying EW12 engine. I actually don't know whether it's Z9, but I guess it's phase 2. Based on your previous video explanation on phase 2 607. And I was having constant leaking of oil on my timing belt. We end up changing the top engine with EW7 engine. Secondly, the electric issues, my cruising system not working, ABS not working. After changing ABS block and cables, now I bought complete front wheel hubs that has an embedded ABS bearing sensor because it was discovered that the ABS bearing sensor on my hubs has crack, making the reading difficult, and there is a bypass of wire to open my boot manually. Not really that the car is completely abused. Well, I was working with what you explained. First, you said you remove if truly the car is Z9, then and it has 2.2 liter petrol engine, that means it's the 3FY version of EW12J4, which on the cylinder head you will see E4 engraved there. So if truly that is phase 2, it means you remove that cylinder head, the 2.2, and put a 1.8 cylinder head for the engine to work with, or for the ECU, because from what you are saying, all you did was the cylinder head, so meaning that the ECU that is running that engine with that combination is still the EW12J4 ECU. Now we'll go and check to see if you still have the old cylinder head. Go and look at that cylinder head. You see the I don't even know how to explain myself. I mean, come on, there's a VVT solenoid on that cylinder head, the EW12J4 cylinder head. Your ECU is working with that VVT. So without that VVT, do you think the ECU will run the engine properly? That's what I need to understand certain things. And even if there's somebody who advises you to go and do that kind of modification on your engine, of all the cylinder EW engine cylinder head that can fit on this EW12 engine block, it has to be the EW7. So you didn't even see the 2.0 EW10J4 on the 1.81 that I don't understand some precision people are making. I did a video concerning this particular issue that made you to go and do this horrible modification on your engine. The problem has nothing to do with the cylinder head. The video I did concerning this your case it lasted more than an hour or close to an hour or something. It wasn't like 5 or 10 minutes video because I needed time to explain. It has nothing to do with the cylinder head. The problem has always been the oil seal on the intake camshaft sprocket. That's the issue with Nigeria. Out of ignorance, they will go and start messing up their engine simply because of not getting the correct oil seal when it fails. I realize that the oil seal is not easily available, or probably not even available in Nigeria, because the people, like, again, are ignorant in terms of the mechanics or the part sellers. They keep using the EW10J4 intake cylinder, no, intake camshaft sprocket, or camshaft oil seal. Intake camshaft oil seals, keep using it on that EW12J4, and they keep failing. You put this on that immediately right there, it will be leak. It's not like you don't do anything or protect or stop the oil from leaking, because they are not the same. Or if they go and enter the market and look for the locally, or no, the low quality ones they see that are not OEM, and they will buy and put. Days later, a few kilometers later, it will probably get worse. That's the issue. It has nothing to do with the cylinder head. I know, immediately you say it, I know. I've explained this it is not like your video wasn't even the first time I explained it. Because of this issue, I had to go and order this sale outside Nigeria. The high quality one, ordered it. Because I know it's a problem in Nigeria, since some people it's out of ignorance. It's not about, because if people are actually aware that they are not the same with that 2.0 or EW10J4, the one they are using, the dealers would have been bringing them in. But they don't know. They don't know that it's a different thing, so they assume the EW10J4 should work. After all, they are EW engines. So I bought it in. I bought those original one and put it on sale. I said, see, I've provided solution for the EW12 users in Nigeria. But the same people I went all the way to get this solution for, you need to see what most of them are saying. Probably you probably will say the same thing, because they will call, how much did I put it then? 13,000. Because that was last year or 2 years ago. I haven't forgotten. Some of them were even abusing me on why would I put the price at that high. Not knowing, even how much do they think they will even order it with the current exchange rate in Nigeria? Pay all this in, pay custom fees to get it in. And a reasonable person will know that, if this 30,000 naira will solve this problem and last you for another maybe 100,000 kilometers or less or more, rather than changing the cylinder, which one is better? To them, they will assume, why would I spend 13,000 naira to buy oil seal when there is one they sell, the one they buy that don't work is 1,500. You see how people, up to today, not single one has been sold. Up to today. Do you know how many pieces I ordered? Up to today, not single one has been. There's one guy, he's even a mechanic. He called and said, because I told there are quite a number of mechanics in Abuja. This is available. I have it. If you want, this is the price. So one guy called, says somebody that has a Z8 607 with that EW12J4, but 3FZ version. He said somebody has this having this oil leak engine oil leak issue on that intake camshaft sprocket. The seal behind it, that's the intake camshaft oil seal that he wants to buy. I told him this is the price, 13,000 naira. He said fine. I think because I can't remember whether I sent him or he had my account details before or something. I said, I'll send the money. When you send it, I'll bring the seal to you. Guess what? He sent 10,000 naira. When I called him and said, I told you it's 13,000, why are you sending 10,000? He was like, he's doing me a favor. He's doing me a favor by sending the 10,000, and I'm trying to say what? Immediately I ended the call. Of course, I also have the mechanic's account detail, bank account detail. I transferred the 10,000 naira back to him. I didn't even call him to even tell. As he was saying that on the phone, I said, you know what? I don't want to continue with the conversation. I ended the call. did the transfer immediately, that 10,000 back to the guy. Say, you think, do I look like a beggar to you? I knew how much, even that 13,000 is almost like as a cost price. And you think you are doing me. And what he eventually did, I don't even understand. The car stayed there for days or even more than 1 week or so. Maybe he went and got this, the so-called another 1,500 or so and put and couple, and they told the man the issue was gone. I think about 2 weeks later, the owner came and took the car, because I used to pass that workshop as well. I saw the vehicle, 1Z8. I won't mention the color. I know he said, in fact, let me just give some G. Guess the owner is listening. He said it was a Z8 with automatic transmission, EW12 J4 engine. You know. Now I want you to see the Nigeria. Look at people you are even trying to solve. They are. I understand that it's not the owner I'm dealing with, but it's not my problem. I don't know how much he collected from the owner of the car, but I'm not going to let anybody cheat me by sending me something less than even the purchase price of that part. So it's not my. So the point is, as it is, you see those things. I decided I'm going to. I don't know. I think they're about 5 pieces or 10 or so. If I would sell them that 13,000, because by now the price supposed to have been gone. I knew how much it was when I ordered them. The exchange rate was when I ordered them, and now. But I've tried not to raise that price, to leave it there. I would rather get fuel, pour it, and burn all of them than sell it less than that to 13,000. It's not about whether I'm desperate for money or anything, you know. But my case is, if people don't want to help themselves, I'm not going to be a fool to help them. You know, if you want to be helped, you stretch out your hand, then the help will come. But if you fold your hand inside water, you are drowning. Yet you don't even want the person you are calling to come and help. You don't want to stretch your hand, the person to grab and pull you out. You stay there now, you drink with the mermaid inside, and you know, probably become fish. You become their food. What's there? So that's how it is. It's available. You know, they say it's available, or you can go online and order it yourself. It's available outside Nigeria. Order it, you get it and put it. So why change the cylinder head? It's still out of ignorance. That's why you people did it. Probably you didn't watch my video when I did it. I'm not saying, so it's not like I'm accusing you that you made the same decision this mechanic made. I'm saying it just, I don't know. Nigeria is just, there's some cars that sometimes you feel, some people, it's like people just don't even bother buying such cars. If you know you can, since the car even maintained, can't avoid to abuse a car, so why go into such vehicle? Buying is not a problem, it's maintaining, keeping the car in good condition, the way you found it, or when you purchase, or probably as in keep the car running as long as possible in good condition. That's what matters in car ownership, not that first purchase. So I hope it's clear. You can go and look for that video. It was much longer than this one I just explained. Look for it, you see a lot of things I explained. So that was your issue. And tell any technician who knows what he's doing that he remove EW12J4 cylinder head and put EW7J4. Unless it's all these quack mechanics that don't know left and right. The person will tell you it makes no logical sense. And the car won't even, the engine will, I know how many guys this thing killed their EW10J4, that put EW10J4 cylinder head on EW12J4 and was running it like that. Eventually the engine failed. Almost all the ones. There was one I did, 1407, same issue. Did the same thing. The engine didn't last until I reversed. Come on. I knew what went out of me. Reverse everything, had to go and buy another complete EW12J4, the engine wiring and everything. Because even that your own, they have to modify the cylinder head. But the engine wiring harness. You are saying the only thing they did was do this thing. They are not the same now. How to modify the cylinder head, the ignition coil, they are not the same. So many things, come on. It's not just the cylinder head that you change. The ignition coil will be different. Then they will have to now find a way to modify the connector to the ignition coil so I can work with that of EW7J4. Then the coolant temperature sensor. This, I'm a technician, so when I told you that it's a horrible this thing, you should understand. I'm not saying it can be done, the modification on the wiring harness can be done right, but I don't see the reason for that. So stop tampering your engine wiring harness. Unless you want to tell me that you people found a way to manage and put EW12J4 ignition coil and mount it on EW7J4 coil. So that, because I looked at it, it should, two of them shouldn't sit. I don't think they should fit in. You take EW12J4 ignition coil and it will fit on the cylinder head of EW7J4. I have never tried it, but when I looked at the design of both ignition coil, they don't look alike. They don't look like they will fit on where you remove this other one. So if it did fit on your own, well, good for you. That's the thing. Me, I'm looking at the general. You probably don't know all these things. For the electrical side, you said your ABS had issue, this and that. I don't know what to say on that because there are some things I'd rather diagnose them myself than what another person is saying that it is. And yes, the bearing on the wheel hub on this on Z9, because the Z9 using bearing, using the hub bearing to calculate the vehicle speed via the ABS weight sensors. So if the bearing there is bad or cracked or anything, the ABS or that wheel sensor will not read. So you are saying wheel bearing sensor, I don't understand what is ABS bearing sensor. It's not the sensor sensor can fail, but the point is if the bearing is bad, you need to pinpoint. There's an easy way to know when the bearing is the sensor is bad on a Z9. Likewise, this 407. Likewise, 307 and the rest. When you scan the ABS module or ECU and it shows you one particular ABS wheel sensor is bad, you clear the fault. And the scan immediately without starting the car or driving the car, and it still show you the fault refuses to go away. It still show permanent fault. That particular wheel ABS sensor should show you. It means truly the ABS sensor is bad or disconnected, or there is discommunication along the line. Simple as that. But if you clear the fault, it goes off. You start the car, it didn't come back, but immediately you move the car, the warning comes back. Then the wheel bearing is at fault. It's the simplest way to diagnose, to know which one is which. Then, of course, you can still remove the bearing and look at it, but that one too, but you need to rule it out completely. But if I were to die, I would want to diagnose the car. This is how easiest way to do it, to know which one before you even start dismantling the wheel. So I hope you've learned this one now. So I don't know whether it's the bearing or the sensor itself, but it's most probably it's the bearing. The Z9 ABS module hardly fails. So I'm surprised that it's the Z8 ABS module that do fail. They are not as durable as that of the Z9 ABS module. I'm not saying the Z9O will never fail. I'm saying they are not known to fail. They have never come across one that has failed of all the Z9 I've repaired or diagnosed. But the Z8, they do. So these are the things you'll be wondering, okay, how come your own yourself you have even changed it? I don't know. You say you didn't abuse your car, but just pointing. That's the thing. When I'm inspecting car, these are things I look out for. These are things that will make me. There's some things I'll start saying. I'll be like, no, this car shouldn't be having issues. This kind of electrical issues. At least at that age. If you start having that, then once I could conclude that probably there be some mess on the electrical that have started crashing some of these ECU or having this kind of issues. So it's possible that I could be wrong, that there's no wrong connection anywhere. But who has time to start to pull out the entire wire to start looking at? That's the thing. So once I have such doubt, I walk away from the car. That's how it is. So that's how I do my car inspection. There are electrical issues that I'll see. I'll say, okay, this is normal wear and tear. It's expected. As time I will see, I say, this car at this age, I won't have time to start pulling my nose to know where. I'll just tell the person, see, if you want to buy, I don't recommend, but if you want to buy, it has to be somebody else that probably will do that diagnosis to know if truly it's a wrong connection somewhere. These days I'm beginning to, limit myself on stressing myself on some of these severe electrically abused vehicles. Because it just drain you so badly, and at the end of the day, such cars, you won't even make much money from it. Because the kind of time, stress, everything you put in it, at the end of the day, the person will be telling you this one and that one. So what's the point? So you better get a car, it's just plug and play. If there's a fail component or wire that cuts somewhere, you can easily see and reconnect. As some abuse, you can easily reverse. Bypassing of the cooling fan, I don't have issue with that. But the only thing I always tell users is expect that after reversing it, that it's possible it has affected the engine ECU. Because sometimes when you do that abuse on the cooling fan, engine cooling fan, if not properly done, it can damage the engine ECU. So what will now happen is when you now reverse it, the ECU will refuse to control that fan automatically. It will keep running it the same way it was when they did that bypass. Because that thing had burned something in the ECU. So you now have to change the ECU. But the only way to know is until you reverse the fan first. If it works, then you know it's all. If it doesn't, then you have to change the ECU. So these are the risks you point out to the person. I'm giving you guys a lot of tips here when it comes to inspecting cars or using vehicles, even the ones you own. So that you are messing with the electrical, understand what you are doing to your car. Because at a point, it will come with its own cost. People have used this car outside Nigeria for years. No problem with them. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers, no issues. Look at my 407. Like I said, the car came, the last repairs done on warranty on that car, on that repair manual showed the car was about 300,000 kilometers before it was shipped to Nigeria. So meaning, and somebody now reduced the mileage to less than 100,000 before I even got to my hand. So within the time the car was in Nigeria being used before I even got the car, who knows how many thousands of kilometers the car have covered. So probably you are looking at about over 400 or close to 500,000. Same engine, no oil shortage, not burning oil, everything still intact. Wireless, everything still intact. That's the point. So the reason why I'm using my 407 means people should understand cars can last more than 500 kilometers, 500,000 kilometers with their engines, the electricals, everything intact. Of course, there will be wear and tears. Some electricals company will be failing and all that. But my point is, generally, the car will still be sound. But Nigerians, once the car gets to 100,000 kilometers, it's as if the car should be dead by then. Because the owners, when we use car, we want to kill. We're supposed to start killing car immediately you get the car. You start disarranging everything with the car. I tell you use this oil. No, you go and get groundnut oil. I tell you use this automatic gearbox oil. No, you go and get what's it called? Coconut oil. You'll be doing all kinds of things, killing the car. I tell you leave your fan. No, he said Nigeria is too hot. You go and push out the wire on the fan, run it direct. Finally, the car go go just disfigure within a space of a year or two. Even though it lasted more than 20 years or thereabout before it came in. But 2 years later, the car would just be like, the next thing, it's government, bad road, they're not paying me enough money. I'm not doing this. That's why I killed my car. Beg. So, point is, people, you always see whenever I come across some things, when it comes to car abuse, I take it very personal. You know, I don't know. It's just who I am when it comes to cars. You know, I know how extent I go to keep my own in good condition. They do fail. They do break down. I do some of the videos sometimes when they break down. Look at my 505. I do the one I did the other time. My other car, when they break down, I show them. I expected to break down. You know, it's some people that will buy cars. Same thing. They'll be telling you, cars, why should I buy a car and be spending a dime to repair or change something? Why don't you go and buy a brand new vehicle? When you buy a used car and you are expecting it to, you buy a car of 2 million naira or 3 million naira or 5 million naira. They want it to serve you like the same car, or probably the new one is available that costs about 30 million naira. You want the car to be in the same condition of the 30 million naira own. So everything should be working like 30 million naira own. Use your number 6. Okay, so moving on. Which one should I respond to? Moving on. It's okay. He said this is from John Wabuti. He said, "Can you show us the interior part of the car? Part of it." That's my 505. The interior is okay. It's still, you know, nothing wrong with the interior. The dashboard has a crack. The car was parked for a while, so the sun did dealt with it, so it cracked in the middle. I think that's about it. Then a few cracks on the dashboard actually, not just that one, but the one in the middle is more pronounced. The speaker, the tweeter, there are 2 tweeters on the dashboard, top of it. The one that is facing directly on the windscreen. So those ones too, those plastic covers have started cracking. More than that, I think the interior is just still intact. The only thing I said, I remember in that video was I'm considering to change interior to cream leather interior, because it has a velour system. I still plan to do it, just that it's not yet time. I'll change it to cream interior whenever the time comes. Okay, this is from Rachel Onome. It says, so what good Peugeot 207 hatchback comes in automatic transmission? 207 hatchback, you can get one with a 1.6 liter engine TU5 JP4. That one can come as automatic. Then you can also get the one with 2.0 liter engine. That's EW10J4 and EW10A. So these 3 engines, 1.6 liter TU5 JP4, and then 2.0 liter engines, EW10J4 and EW10A. These are the 3 engines you can get in Peugeot 307 with automatic transmission for petrol engines. So any other one will be manual. as far as petrol engine is concerned. That's what I mean by like they have one that come with TU3JP. That's and I think TU3A or so. The 1.4 liter engine. Those ones come only in manual. Then the EW10J4S, is a 2.0 liter but sports version. That's the one with 180 HP horsepower. So that one comes only in manual too. Like I said, sports version. So they didn't do automatic for them. So those are the ones you can get automatic. These three. Okay, this one here, he said, did you get a noticeable reduction in fuel consumption after this? Okay, this was when my catalytic converter on the my 407 coupe, V6 coupe, the front one was missing when I got the car. It was absent, it's like if somebody stole it. So what I did was, so I now bought, since getting a new one or a used one, say good condition, was not an option. I'm not even sure they'll be available anymore. So what I did was I bought a new one, a new, just non-Peugeot new catalytic converter. I wasn't the one. I gave somebody, so he bought it, cut it, and welded it on the cylinder, and it mashed. So at the time I did that video, okay, have I used the car? No. Normally, when you do this kind of thing, the ECU will take a while to adjust to the new component. So even then, I did a video and explained the first 100, I think 100 or 200 kilometers after I put the catalyst. I showed it. Even at that time, it still wasn't that good enough to know the true fuel consumption of the car with the new catalyst, because it will take a while. Anybody understand this will know ECU, they are adaptive. It takes a while. So it's now, because I've started seeing the difference. Now the consumption have dropped much lower than the first few kilometers after I put that catalyst on the car. So meaning the ECU have started adapting to the new catalyst and the rest. So, however, each time I scan the car, it will still tell me that bank 1 catalytic converter is bad, which was showing when the catalyst was absent. So it's still reporting that simply because it's not OEM. That's what I realized. So I see, once it comes to Peugeot vehicles, since most of these one like ES engine, I think EW engine as well, THP engines as well. Once the catalyst is not OEM, it will be telling you it's for the catalytic converter. It will give you a catalytic converter fault. Only thing is, it will not give you the symptoms. That's pronounced symptom of absence of catalyst, like high fuel consumption. The catalyst is blocked. It might reduce the car power. Engine will not run well. So all those symptoms will be gone. But in terms of fuel consumption, it will come down. Maybe the OEM will make it consume much lower than this aftermarket own. But my point is, you will see the difference. So so that's my response on that. Hold on, let me click some of these things so that they won't come back again. Okay. This one is from Patrick, and I think it's about timing belt that I was about to cut on someone's car. He just opened, I think they wanted to do something and opened it, and I saw the timing belt I've almost shredded and about to cut. Okay. Okay, this advert on 406 advertised. Person say once. This one's no need for that. Okay, this is the fuel. The video I was telling you guys about fuel consumption of 407. Let's look at the Um, I can't. I don't. It's not in English, so. Hmm. Uh, okay, this from Z Empire. They say I can remember this same day, November 2003. My dad bought his 406. Either with engine 4 engine Kaduna Maduka Motors 2.8 million naira. Brand new. Now same price, can't even buy Tokumbo. I now use the 406 and it has just 93,000 kilometers on the clock. It was well maintained, never painted, still looks better than many Tokumbo. Yeah, if a car well maintained will serve whether Tokumbo or Nigerian use, probably will even be in a better condition than Tokumbo. Congrats. This is from Olumide Olunloyo. I'm just seeing this video now. That man will still have nightmares on that Gemini car he has. Owning any car without stress depends on how maintenance consciousness you are. In the near future, I wish to upgrade to Peugeot 407 V6, second phase with stick shift. Presently, just acquired same with EW10J for stick shift and it was Nigerian use. For like 6 months now, no any issues. Everything works perfectly, no any abuse at all. Kudos to you because I actually got the true experience I learned from you. Okay, congrats. This I thought about there was a guy that came one day and told me to get rid of my my Z9 before the car deals with me. That is a horrible car. The Z9 or 607 are nightmares to own. You know that he bought the car and after a while the car started messing up after the Nigerian mechanics started to work on the car. And he never knew peace. He never knew peace until he had to scrap the car. So I should do the same immediately. So I think that's what he's responding to. Okay. Um, um, Assessment of price. This is from Fabian Datong. He said, "Good morning, sir. Please, I want to ask what is the recommended engine oil quantity for 307 with TU5 engine? Is it 4 liters or 5 liters? Thank you as I anticipate your response." The TU5 JP4 engine is about 3.5 liters, if I'm not mistaken. It's not even up to 4 liters. I can't confirm here, but check. But I know the ones people have changed engine oil for. I think it's 3.5. I'm just out of my head. I think it's 3.5 liters. It's not up to 4. It's not up to 4. So, but not at all 5 liters. So it's within that, between 3.5 to maybe 3.7 or so. You know, that's the Peugeot recommendation. Within that time, within that, it's just me. I don't like making assumptions. So, but I know it's not up to 4 liters. I know it's around that 3.5. But I know the normal service, but then doesn't mean that it cannot take more than 3.5 liters because it all depends on how many that comes out. It may still take only 3 liters. It all depends on what comes out and what it will take to get it close to maximum mark on the dipstick. Don't leave it at dipstick. The maximum. The only engine, Peugeot engine, I would say it's better you leave it even at the maximum mark is THP engines. THP VTI engines. It's just better for you to leave it at that maximum mark. Maybe one day I'll do a video on that to explain. But for other engines, leave it a little bit under the maximum, just in between. Not you could just say in between the max and the minimum. But me, I just take it a little bit, just closer to the maximum, but not like in the middle. Okay. This one for Iju Tail Lago. It said my 407 2010 automatic gear is very erratic. Shows PRND. Well, welcome to 47. Welcome to automatic gearbox issues. Could be anything. Could be the ATF. Could be this and that. So this from Akinade Adebiji. Say, can you convert 88 to 86 better gearbox on 408? So for those who don't know, 88 is the successor of AL4, 4-speed automatic gearbox. I know you can use. I know people do that. They use 88 in place of AL4. I'm not saying I know how to do it, but I know most people do it. And it works. Probably could be something they do. I don't know. I'm not a specialist in automatic gearbox, but I know they do because they all look at. In fact, they all look. You can't even tell the difference by mouth. Or maybe there could be something on the body that can differentiate the two. But I say, generally, when you look at it, both gearboxes, it might be difficult to tell which one is which. They look alike. So that is 88. Now, when you come to 86, 86 is 6-speed. The other one, the AL4, and the 88 is 4-speed. Two different. These are not even made by the same manufacturers, if I'm correct. So I know somebody. I know there's one video, not a video. There's was it a blog or kind of forum? I saw somebody did it on his 308. You know, T7 308, which is either T7 or 408. T7. I don't know, but I know it's T7. You know, 408. That early 408 is T7 or 308 saloon version. So somebody did it on his 80, is it for 8 years, something like that, converted it to 86. But it wasn't like plug and play conversion. I think it involved about two or three technicians. One did the mechanical part of the conversion, one did the electrical part of the conversion. Because electrically there are two different things. Completely, the automatic transmissions wiring connections are different. So in fact, it's even the electrical part of the conversion that you should be worried about, not even the mechanical. So yeah, it can be done, but then I know somebody. No, I can not go into it, but it can be done. The person I did it was not in Nigeria. It wasn't even like an English something. So I was because I was going through the pictures. Okay, I did the Google translation and from the pictures and some of the things they were saying, the person said I could understand. He said he did it at at one workshop. The person, so that was how he was able to. He said yes, it's like the gearbox dealt with him, the AL4, the ATM. I decided to do that. I have peace of mind. Okay, so it's possible, but you have to. I don't know how to do it. But somebody has done it and confirmed that it works. From VS, it said you should use 5W30 fully synthetic because of anti-LSPI properties. Well, I think it's a post where I saw, can't remember. Okay, I think that was when I saw this 5W40 B712296 mobile own. That what's it called? Super 3000 or so. Super mobile 3000. So I saw it for the first time. And this person said you should use 5W30. Come on, there was something I was trying to. I wasn't talking about. I said I went there. You see, look. I went to buy engine oil for someone THP engine, and I saw oil recommended for EW, ES, TU, and the other Peugeot engine models, which I've never seen before at a mobile station. And I pointed it out. In case people that use these other engines, you can, if you want, this is what I saw. I have no experience of the oil, but this oil is available at mobile station. That was not happen. It seems you are saying that I was saying people should use 5W40 for THP engine. Come on, read what I said. It was very clear there. I didn't use Igbo language. Wow. All this small thing, people will jump out to correct people without even reading to understand what the person said. Unless that's not what you mean, but I think what that post was indicating that the content of it is about 5W40 for those engines they were recommended for, not THP engine. So there's no need to bring up the 5W30 at all in this the conversation. Okay, this one John Emeka, I say, how can one engage your service? Pay my service. It depends on what you want. My number is always on my videos or mostly videos. You see it on video description or comment section. Email. So it depends on what you want. As far as project is concerned, contact me. The thing is, these days I'm limiting my time with the repairs. It's only one day in a week, Saturday, that I do it. So I don't do it randomly like for everybody now. I just do it. People who want me to do it, you have to subscribe for consultancy service, which is more like a separate thing, but I can do this one in the process for the whoever that subscribe for it. It's a 5-year service. So if you do, then when I'm available, even though Saturday, sometimes I just take it out. I won't make myself available. If I have private things, personal things I need to take care of, I do use it to do. So I always state that when it comes to repairs and diagnosis, I can't tell you that I'm always there when you need me. No, I'm not. It's not the car diagnosis. This is not my full-time job. So if you want me to buy a car for you, or inspect a car for you, I can provide that service, this and that. So it depends on what you want as far as project is concerned. So you contact me, they will discuss. You look at my conditions. If you're not okay with that, then move on. We'll both go our separate ways. Okay. I know most of these things are already old, but I'm just responding, the most I can. This from Kabota itself, Peugeot is a legend. Also from Kabota itself, could you please do a complete review on Peugeot 207? I would like to know more about it. Love your videos and thanks for your time. I don't know. I've handled some 207. I don't know. Never had time to do a review on any of them. Let's see how it goes. I've handled quite how many. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Maybe one of these days I'll see one that will be good enough. It all depends, because normally when it comes to reviews, I like using cars that are sound enough or good enough, or there's no need to use a car that will have so many issues when you are reviewing. It won't make more sense. So that's the thing. There are sometimes I will see one that issues that I won't have much issues, but the time, because I have to, if you review it takes time, you have to prepare for it. You won't just open camera and say, I have to do talk about this, show this, drive the car. It's time. You have to fuel. If it's not my car, if somebody's car, I have to go and fuel the car. Just because the person gives me car for me to use for review means I'll burn this fuel. I have to put fuel in the car, So you also have to prepare for it financially too. So, okay, it's a good suggestion. Let's see how it goes. Whenever I see a 207, unless you just want me to do the normal, just without physically showing the car, I was doing it. You know how I do my reviews, especially the POV one. Okay. This from Olumide Oloya again. So, what type of coolant you use for your model line? Mine is 407 with EW10J4. I want to change the coolant task. When it comes to coolant now, I don't know. Just use the one I always recommend is no longer available. The total cool tech, abi coolef. I think coolef. That one is no longer available. The one you have now is it the cool tech? The one that is green. The one I always recommend is the one that is is it pink color or yellow, something like that. That one is oily, very good. But what you have now is the green one. It's not oily, so it's not, you can't use it for too long. If you use it for too long on the system, it will lost the system. And something else I also observe, the color, even though it's green, but the color sometimes look as if it will burn out. Not burn out per se. You could, let's assume your container, your coolant container or tank is white, pure, some cars are like 308 and other than 407. So in that case, you'll be seeing the color of the coolant if it's green. But if you use that total from my observation, over time, you look as if you don't have coolant. There's nothing on the system, this thing anymore until you open the cover to see. Or you look as if somebody mixed water there, because you see, where is this color? Where is the green? So it will, all of a sudden, the green will just fade, and they won't be dark green anymore. It's not the high quality one when it comes to coolant, but it's better than using water. So talking about the dark, I've forgotten which one. Just go to any total cool tech, the one the white container, the one they introduced recently. I use it, one of my cars, notwithstanding. Then we have other ones. What's the name? That's one I'm trying to remember. There's one I do recommend that one is still currently on my phone. If I remember the name, I'll mention it. It has green, it has red. But something happened. This is a client's vehicle. He bought a new radiator. So I bought that coolant, put it, and use it for, I think, some months, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember exactly. But all of a sudden, the radiator started leaking in a very weird manner. Just looks like a pump, like two places. It looks as if you use a needle, like if you use a needle and pierce through something. So it did it on like two places. So it was a new radiator, but it wasn't like immediately. So removed the radiator. What's it called? Fix it. Seal those places that are leaking. Put back the coolant. 2-3 days later, it started leaking. This time, not from that same, those spots will say, from my other places, another 2 other places also, with the same way. It just look like you use this thing to pierce something, metal. So you're like, is it that the radiator, even though I know it was from the aftermarket, new one aftermarket, is it that it's not high quality or something? Yeah, I know they're not OEM, so I don't expect them. But so what we now did was, okay, you know what? Let's just use water for now and see, because we were already suspecting coolant at that time. We were like, okay, let's just use water in case this will leak again. If we continue, they will look for another radiator. So we'll seal it this time. The second time, those other holes that did this thing, use water, needed it, use it and run it. Till today, this thing happened, was it late last year or early this year? Till today, no more leakage, no more. So here it is. No, let me not mention the name of that. I don't want somebody to come and sue me, Jerry. I won't mention the name. But I wouldn't know if it was actually caused by the coolant. Now, because this coolant, I've been using it for years, no problem. Like I said, it's in one of my cars now. It's over about 4 years now, or 3 years, or thereabout. It's been long it's been in the car cooling system, no problem. So I don't know whether they've changed the quality of the coolant or not. Maybe it could be the radiator that is actually the cause, not the coolant. But it could also be that the coolant is not that good anymore. Because I bought it with the radiator. The radiator was sometime last year. It was sometime last year that I mounted the radiator. And this thing happened, like I said, maybe a month or two or a few months after I started. I know all this thing happens within months. So I can't really say for sure what caused it. So, but for now, I decided to stay away from that coolant. It's possible the quality of the coolant has now gone bad. It's no longer as when I was using it years ago, or the quality probably is no longer as good as the one in my car. I've been there for, like I said, close to 4 years now with no issue. So, but I'm not going to mention because the owner of this thing might see it like I'm trying to kill his business. So I'm not going to mention the name. Anybody that mentions it, you're on your own. No? Even if I have a private conversation with you and probably mention it, that is a private conversation. I didn't put it online. So if you come online and put it and say, I said so, if I understand that you could be sued, let me put it that way. So don't come and quote me tomorrow, say that I said so. If I said anything privately with the person, it means I didn't intend to put it online or make it publicly. This is a private conversation. I can share my opinion on something privately with another person without making it public. So don't let nobody that had such a discussion come online and say. So I'm not going to mention the name of that coolant company or the brand or the distance. So I hope this makes sense. Yeah, I know it's a risk that people might fall victim. Like, but I'm not sure. I can't just come and kill somebody's business when I'm not sure what actually caused it. But I don't know. So if not, go with the coolant, the total own that I mentioned, the one of green. At least it won't damage you. I'm using it also in one of my cars. It won't damage you. Only thing is, the quality is not as high as the other total own that I used to buy, the one of pink one, that will protect your engine cooling system much better than this green one. The green one is there, but it's not meant to use for long. Use it for a while, drain it, put another one, maybe a year or so. It all depends. I also noticed it doesn't boil as fast as the what's it called, that pink one. That pink one boils much faster. That's the type that you put. In fact, the old green one, that one that used to be in pink, is it pink container? Or red, not red per se, but you get what I mean. That something like that, pink or something. That one say also boil more faster. If you pour it in your engine cooling system before you can even drive out of your house, you see your temperature gauge will start shooting up. But this green one, the current green one, the total, yes, I'm saying that. Total, don't get offended. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm saying in terms of quality, it's not as high as the other one. That's my point. So if you guys want, you can go and buy the other one. But I still use it and I will still continue to buy. Because so far it appears that's the only safe one I can buy and recommend. The other ones in the market, but guys, you have to go and experiment. The other ones, like the Toyota ATF, that one I've never used it, but I had its quality. Of course, it's expected to be quality, but it's concentrated one. So when you buy, you mix with water. But that is if you are buying the original, because most of the ones in the market, I don't know, but how are you sure they are actually the Toyota ATF, that quality one? It could be fake. So that's why I would rather go to Total and buy from those their stations to avoid going to open market to buy rubbish. There could be other good brands too in the market, so risk it. And I mean, okay, so that's all okay. I don't know, since we've been going for too long, I'm trying to, let me read this one. It says, This from Miss Behu Issa. He said, hello, good evening, please. I have a Peugeot 406 with an EW7 engine. My problem is smoke with small oil mixture. It's coming out from the smoke pipe. Crankcase ventilation, but the car is not smoking at the back. Yeah, it could be, it's an EW7 engine. With this EW engine, once this time happen, most times it could be, well, the simplest, let me start with the most routine things. That cylinder head cover, the one at the back of the engine, the one on the exhaust camshaft side, that cover, that plastic cover, it has is it PVC or BPCV? I don't even remember. All this PVC car has made me get me confused. So it's a breathing something there, PVC or whatever. There, that when it fails, it can start pushing out oil from that case, that cover, to onto your intake throttle body. So what you could do is you could change it. Unfortunately, I don't know if new one is available. You can find a new one, or try a second hand, but that's the problem. If you use a second hand, you don't know whether the one you are putting also has the same thing. If it has failed, try another one. If it works, then if it continues, the one you are sure that is okay. If it continues, then your engine has worn out, mostly your cylinders. That's especially EW7. That's the usual sign of weakness. EW10 does the same thing. Basically, every engine will do that, but I'll suggest for EW7, usually the sign of weakness, the engine is weak, could be from the cylinders. If you want to, since it hasn't started burning oil from the tail, if you change the rings, it will stop. I know somebody that did it. He changed with quality rings, piston rings, change it and it stopped. So that could be a way forward for you, since you said it's not smoking from the tail. So I'll do that if I were you. Or if I had the money, buy another engine. But if it was my engine, I'll do that first. If it not continues, then I'll prepare and change engine. Don't just give up easily on your engine like that. Change the rings first. Unfortunately, buy with the, okay, you could start with the rings and piston. In this case, the guy changed only the rings and it worked for him. So it's what I just tell people, you don't really know the state of your engine until you dismantle, you open it up. Sometimes we say only rings, only for you to open and realize that your pieces too have gone. But just be prepared. If you read then buy piston and rings. If it's already the ring, then change all the ring. But the ideal thing is both. Okay, moving on. If your cylinder walls have now worked, but I don't think it has gotten to the cylinder wall. If it has got that cylinder ball, if that one has been affected, the car must start smoking that bad from the tail, bluish smoke. Okay. Thanks for your video about Peugeot awareness. Please, what is the best Peugeot 407 car to buy for your first car? Thanks. This from Aliyu Sani Aliyu. First Peugeot 407 to buy. Any 407 can do. Any 407, you don't have to be an experienced driver or car user to use a V6. The only time I always say maybe you shouldn't bother with V6 here, people who are so mindful of fuel economy. That's why I say no need for V6. If not, any 407 can do. 1.8, 2.0, 2.2, V6, any of them can do for a first time car user. But like I said, if you are going for a V6, be ready. It consumes much more. I'm not saying excessively, but it consumes more than the 1.8, the 2.0, the 2.2. 407 is a very heavy car. Even the 1.8 and 2.0, they also consume more. As in what I mean, it consume more compared to the 406 with the same engine and transmission. They consume more. It's a heavy car. It has the advantage of having that weight over the 406. Yeah, it has that advantage of the weight, the design. So it has its own advantage, but you have to pay that price. So it could be that the 2.0, the 1.8 might be better for you. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter which distance. for a first-time car user. I always tell people, if you are into automatic, if you prefer automatic, you are better off with the V6. Trust me, the V6 automatic will serve you much better. It doesn't mean you won't fail, but you have less headache than that of the first cylinder. At least if you fail once, you change it, put another one. Likelihood of having another failure will be very slim, unless you use a wrong fluid. V6, the AM6 lasts much longer compared to 4HP20 and the AM4. Doesn't mean I know people that use 407 AM4, the gearbox are still working, no issue. The gearbox the car came with. Yeah, so but I'm just saying, when you look on the average, they do have more issues than the V6. In fact, let me put it a different way, because of high demand for them, they cost more. When you want to go and buy Tokumbo automatic gearboxes, those are for the one in 4-cylinder engines, the automatic gearbox in 4-cylinder, they cost more than that of the automatic in that 407 V6. So, hope that makes sense. I just like to apply logic in everything. So, this is from Kabatai. It's a monk. May I ask what is opinion on 206 versus 207? Personally, I'll take 207 over 206. I'll take 207 over 206. That's all I can say. But me doing it means I'll be ready for higher maintenance costs. But I'll take 207. The only thing like 207 depends on which engine. Like 207, there is a 207 that come with a common engine you find in 206, which is very good, and others. In other words, you will spend less in maintenance if you get it in 207, but they come only in manual. That's a TU3, is it TU3A or TU3JP, something like that. Then you now have other ones, VTI, THP engines. I'll still go for the THP engine. But I know at that time those were the first THP engines or VTI engine. In fact, those were the first EPCs engines they did that time, so they have quite a number of issues. But me going there is just to enjoy the power. That's what I'm saying. But in terms of apart from the engine, generally 206, 207 is much better than 206 for me. 207 is more spacious. For me, it looks better. I will just go for 207, Jerry. 206, I don't feel, the ones, every time I drive here, I don't feel, probably because of my height, I just don't feel that. And also the suspension, 207 suspension is better built than 207. I'm not saying 207 suspension will not fail, company will not fail, but I'm saying in terms of durability, it's better. 207 don't have all this rear cross member issue, what they call camber. Any 206 long user will tell you that. You probably must have changed yours how many times. The 207, they are not known for that. It's possible once in a while I meet somebody, but they are not known for that. 207, 206, they are suspension issue now. I don't like it's not as bad as 207, but man, it's just not my thing. In fact, I will even take a 407 suspension over 206 suspension. There's some maintenance. Whether 206 will cost more, 407 will cost more, I wouldn't mind. So, depends on what you want. So this one, Emeka Felix, please, how long should the timing belt last? There are different recommendations depending on regions where you are, where the vehicle is being used. In Nigeria, for the 4-cylinder engine, let me just put 4-cylinder irrespective of engine model. At least I can say even 505, some after, like the GTI, the ZD ZDJL engine. That's the 2.2 liter in 505. That's the 5 GTI. They use timing belt. So that's my point. I don't know. I can't say how long that the recommendation of that one. So let me just leave that side. Then from 90s upward, all those TU whatever, all those things. As far as 4-cylinder engine, in a country like Nigeria, they call it adios this or severe use, that where that is very dusty, where that is very very hot, environment that is very hot, that is very sunny. Use your car mostly in traffic. You're always in traffic, not on highway, because traffic put more stress on engine. That's why I call it severe use. You are using it for taxi, using it for this thing. What you do every 4 years, change your timing belt. Change your timing belt for 4-cylinder engine. Every 4 years, change your timing belt. I also add including your auxiliary belt with high quality ones. I'm not going to say OEM, because these days I don't even bother honestly buy OEM. They are good quality aftermarket you can use. The ones I import and sell are not OEM, they are aftermarket. So use high quality aftermarket. Do change with the auxiliary belt. However, I'll add the ideal thing to do is to buy with the complete kit, timing kit, auxiliary belt kit. The only time I only put caveat is for the V6 engine, but fine, I'll get there later. The 4-cylinder, mostly their complete kits are available. They are timing and auxiliary belt kit, new ones. Avoid buying used timing belts. Don't bother with that. Look for high quality new one, irrespective of whether OEM or aftermarket. Then every 4 years or 60,000 kilometers. In fact, I always tell people sometimes 40,000 kilometers, but I think you can say 60,000 maximum. So whichever comes first, either 4 years or 40,000 kilometers or 60,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, but they don't wait. If you pass 4 years, you say, but he hasn't gotten to 40,000, let me keep using. No, don't do that. Or he hasn't gotten to 60,000, let me keep using until you get to 60. In that case, maybe it could be next 10 years. Don't. As I live in Nigeria, environment in Nigeria are very dusty or have high temperatures all the time. Don't. I mean ambient temperature. Change it before every 4 years or 60,000 kilometers max or 40 minimum, at least minimum. Or you can go do less. It doesn't matter. You can change your time rate every month. It means nothing. As long as you can afford to do it to protect your engine. For V6, now, I'm not sure. The complete timing belt kit is not available here for V6. So it's pointless trying to change. But one thing I'll tell you is the V6 timing belt kit, that's apart from the belt, the timing rollers, timing tensioner, the V6 own, they are so durable that you shouldn't bother about. However, they do fail. The one in my phone is, I think I've changed like 2 of the rollers self, either 2 or 3. There are 3 rollers there for the timing. I've changed about 2 of them. The good thing is, once they have become weak, they are metal. They are not plastic like this other 4-cylinder own. They are pure metal, all one. When they become weak, they become very noisy. It's very easy to detect when their rollers become weak. They become noisy. You see, you do fear when your engine is running. Then when you remove the belt and spin them with your hand while they are still attached on the engine, you see will be wobbling or they'll be dragging. You see they won't spin freely, continuously, So that is it for the V6. So that's why for V6, don't bother looking for to buy the complete V6 timing kit. Trust me, if you are, let's say you want to order it, like I said, there's not available in Nigeria. If you want to order it, you're likely going to spend more than 200,000. What is 200,000? You're going to spend close to 300,000, if not more, to order a complete kit with the rollers, the tensioner, this. Likewise, the auxiliary belt kit as well. The kits complete are not available. So The belt now is becoming even scarce. The timing belt is only auxiliary belt that are easily available. So but the V6, you can do it every 8 years. Yeah, they extended the V6 on because they don't stress up like the 4-cylinder on. So they last more. It's hard to see somebody that has V6 timing belt cut. They do fail. And what I mean is, they actually do become weak. There's one I removed. I mean, the belt it was so weak as you could see crack on it. But yeah, it didn't cut. But I told the person, it didn't actually crack. It's just that it was already very weak. I don't know how old he has stayed there. So I told the person, get rid of it. So that's the thing. So the V6, they are not known for timing belt failure. But so it shouldn't be taken for granted. But mine, I've changed all my own. Before 06, I've changed it twice. Then I changed it once. My 47 V6 changed it once. So eventually they will be due. Start changing them or order them outside or whatever. I use Deco. That's what I use Deco timing belts for all my distance. And this is even auxiliary belt too. I use Deco. The other quality aftermarket as well. I just use Deco. Deco is the OEM anyway for the V6. I'm talking about ES9J4, ES9J4S, ES9A. So I think that's answer your question. So I have V6, they say every 8 years. Okay. In fact, for this thing, they will say for Nigeria, I can do 9 years for the V6. But me, I just leave it. Like my 46, I've changed it to I do every 7 years or so. I just change it. I can afford to buy that. So don't need to drive it up to that 10 year or 9 years. So I changed mine the 7th year, 46. Or 80,000 kilometers. So whichever comes first for the V6. So working with the JBL, this from Inel. Yeah, the phone was with it. Okay, I'm going to end it here. So I hope this helps. So if you have any question, like I said, don't contact me privately. My number is always on my videos description on YouTube. My WhatsApp, Telegram chat lines, they are there. Is there? It's only one. Then my email address is there too. But please only contact me unless you want to transact business with me. Terms of you want to contact me to buy a car for you, or in terms of repairs, or make inquiry, and you are willing to pay for that consultant service fee. That's the only way I will respond to you. If you don't, post it here on the YouTube channel, any of my things. The way I did here, I'll come and respond to it. If you feel you can't wait for when I'm ready to come and do it, or that you don't want one that will respond with other people's own, which will make the video much longer, then you have to pay, or you go elsewhere to see for the information you want. Okay, hope that makes sense. So I'm going to bring this video to an end. It's already, look at the time, 10:18. Oh, today is 20, is it 20? No, it's 30th. It's 30, Sunday. Hold on, let me confirm. Yeah, 30th April. See, Sunday, 30th April 2023. So you can see the time, almost 10:19 p.m. So I need to call it a day. All right.